Child being in foster care is far from an ideal scenario. It's very, very sad. A child going to two gay parents, I think, is worse. I think it's easily worse, actually.
Why?
It's just more disordered. It's more confusing for the child. Again, neither scenario is good. We don't like either thing. But I don't see going to gay parents as an improvement over what they had before. So,
do we know that it screws kids up, or we just sort of intuitively know it?
I think we intuitively know, but also there's been plenty of studies done about the mental health effects of kids that grow up in these same-sex parent homes. There's been a lot of studies done about it. But honestly, you can look at the studies, people will fact check, and they're there. I don't need studies for this.
Psychotic take, but let's get into it. First of all, Matt Walsh says he doesn't need studies because he knows deep down that all of the research goes against the argument he's making here. None of these MAGA psychos in all their years of trying have ever been able to point to a single piece of data that irrefutably suggests sexual orientation has anything to do with the capacity or quality of a caregiver. Despite this, we've seen American adoption agencies spend decades of their histories discriminating against people based on their race, marital status, and of course, sexual orientation. Many of these adoption agencies literally closed their doors and shut down their businesses when they were confronted with the possibility of one day having to serve LGBT community members. But the reality is, we're talking about foster care here, and foster care, believe it or not, is not an adoption agency. Foster care does not exist to funnel children to adoption, or at least that was not the intent when foster care was created. Foster care exists to act as a sort of permanent babysitter for parents so that they can get their act together and be able to parent their children again. The number one reason why American children are separated from their parents and put into the foster care system is neglect. It is by far the number one reason why kids in this country end up in foster care. Now, don't get me wrong here. Some bad things do happen to children, and there are definitely cases of children entering the foster care system for very good reasons in need of permanent external care, not from their parents. But in the vast majority of conversations about foster care, most people, including in this conversation between Matt Walsh and Tucker Carlson, are not thinking about the 60-something% of children and their families who are separated because the parents couldn't pay the bills, couldn't put food on the table, couldn't find affordable housing, couldn't find affordable childcare. We're talking about people who are imagining children who are being abused by their parents, and that's why the majority of kids end up in the system, which is just not true. What's so evil about these child welfare conversations in America is that the solution almost always involves selling children. Matt and Tucker don't care that children in this country are being sold. They just want to control who those children are being sold to. Like, God forbid we just create social safety nets that address the root causes of these issues that lead to the majority of children in this country ending up in foster care. But that's just America. Capitalism runs everything in this country, including our own child welfare system.